Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Thousands of mourners say farewell to victims of Clarendon massacre. Thousands of mourners have gathered at the funeral service for the Clarendon family of 5 killed in Cockapiece in the parish in June. 31-year-old Kimisha Wright, her 4 children, 15-year-old Commander Smith, 12-year-old Sharadi Smith, and 5-year-old Raphael Smith, and 23-month-old Kishane Henry Jr. were stabbed and their throats slashed. Their cousin Russian Barnett pleaded guilty to 5 counts of murder when he appeared in the Home Circuit Court last Thursday. Heartbreak and anger are some of the emotions portrayed by the mourners who have gathered for the funeral service at Clarendon College's Stuart Hall. Meanwhile, one person who came to offer support told reporters that the murders will leave a stain on the minds of the loved ones and other Jamaicans.
I am hurt. I am sad. I am so depressed. As a mother and a grandmother, and to be here today to see 4 caskets, 4 earths with my daughter. One of my daughters is 32-year-old. So this girl is my daughter. And I only have 2 grandkids. Sister, I am crying inside out. I am torn apart to see somebody in a prison this morning. I eat breakfast and these 5 families going to bury. I am hurt. I am so hurt.
Military dad upset after being barred at funeral of Clarendon 5. Kishane Henry had to call in fellow Jamaica Defence Force personnel to assist him in getting inside the Stuart Hall auditorium at Clarendon College, where the funeral of his son, his 3 siblings, and their mother is taking place. Henry had to be restrained by family as he was visibly upset after being barred from entering the venue by security personnel. He was not wearing his military uniform. There was chaos and confusion at the venue as scores of persons turned up for the funeral of 31-year-old Kimisha Wright and her 4 children. Funeral director Trevor Witter announced that only the family will view the bodies, that no photographs of the deceased should be captured at the request of the relatives. Burial was followed at the Sutton Cemetery. 15 fatal shooting by police in July, says Indicom. The Independent Commission of Investigations Indicom has recorded 15 fatal shooting by the police for the month of July. Most recent incidents include one in St. James, where a man said to be of unsound mind was allegedly threw a stone at the cops who was shot on Friday. Also on Friday, an alleged robber who was among 4 bikers targeting residents along the Sir Fraser Gaspol Highway St. Andrew was killed when cops responded to the robber attempt. Deputy Commissioner of Indicom Hamish Campbell said the 2 men killed in both incidents remain unidentified. As it regards to the St. Andrew incident, Mr. Campbell is appealing to witnesses and anyone who may have information to come forward.
The fatal shooting on the Sir Florial Glaspole Highway in the vicinity of the Mineral Bath at 4:10 p.m. A mobile traffic patrol was on duty and received information in relation to people on motorcycles engaged in robbing or attempting to rob citizens. The officers went to the area and then met or came upon 2 motorcycles, each with a rider and a pillion passenger. During their confrontation and request for them to stop, they produced handguns, the men on the motorbikes, and a confrontation took place between the police officers firing their guns and one of the motorcyclists sped off. It crashed. Both men came off the bike. One of the men was found to be fatally wounded, and another man attempted to escape across the road and into the sea. He, in turn, was arrested and was injured. So he was both taken to the hospital, 1 dead and 1 survived. 1 firearm is reported as having been recovered from that particular incident. Indicom are investigating the scene and looking for CCTV cameras which may be in existence and any other witnesses who might have been on the road at the time this occurred.
Hanover couple reportedly murdered in sleep. A couple was allegedly shot while sleeping as gunmen went on rampage in the western parish of Hanover early Monday. The attackers reportedly kicked open the doors to the house and shot a man and a woman in Pumpkin Bottom. A man was also killed in the neighboring community of Barbican. Their identities have not yet been released. The shooting took place about 2 a.m. It's unclear whether the case are linked. The police are at both locations. Man killed, woman injured in gun attack at abandoned building in Linstead. A man and a woman who were said to be in a compromising position in an abandoned building came under gun attack in Linstead St. Catherine. The man who was killed in the shooting has been identified as 33-year-old laborer Arthur Beckett of Princessfield in Linstead. The attacker is being sought by the police. The incident happened about 9:30. The police report that the male attacker and the woman ventured to the abandoned building and discovered that it was already occupied by the couple. It is further reported that the man, who was said to be wearing a mask, pulled a gun and opened fire. He and the woman then fled. An alarm was raised and the police called. Investigators discovered the initial man and woman suffering from gunshot wounds inside the building. The man succumbed. The police say several spent shells and other items were discovered at the scene. No motive has been established. The investigation is ongoing. Incomplete file delays murder case against policemen. An incomplete case file had delayed the matter against 2 policemen who were charged with murder almost 14 years ago. The disclosure was made when the case was mentioned in St. Catherine Circuit Court on Friday. As a result, the case was adjourned to September 20. Bail was extended by the court for Sergeant Kervin Leachman of the St. Catherine North Division and Constable Dane Lawson of the St. Thomas Division. They are each out on $500,000 bail. Leachman and Lawson are charged with the September 2022-2008 murder of Giovanni Robinson, who lived in Joblin, Spanish Town, St. Catherine. Allegations are that Robinson challenged a police party during an operation in the community. The police reported that he was shot and killed by the police personnel and that a revolver was seized from him. In April 2022, both policemen were arrested and charged with Robinson's murder following a ruling from the Director of Public Prosecutions. Attorney at law Andrew Graham appeared for the cops. Legal watchdog finds prosecutor guilty in landmark decision. For the first time in Jamaica's legal history, a prosecutor was found guilty of professional misconduct following a complaint made by a man who was freed of fraud charges. The disciplinary committee of the General Legal Council found that while Sophia Thomas worked in the office of the Director of the Public Prosecutions, she violated the canons of the professional ethics while prosecuting a fraud case in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court in November 2017. Thomas is on secondment as a prosecutor in the Turks and Caicos Islands. A date is to be set to give Thomas an opportunity to be heard in mitigation before a sanction is imposed by the committee. A complaint was made in 2019 by Lowell Spence, National Commercial Bank branch manager who was freed of fraud charges in November 2017. Spence, who was represented by attorney at law Matty Hyatt, complained that Thomas knowingly used false evidence and/or participated in the creation or use of evidence that she knew to be false. So as lawyers, when we see unfairness or dishonesty on the part of prosecutors, we must let our clients file a complaint to the GLC, says attorney at law Bert Samuels, who represented Spence at his final trial. We cannot let them off the hook, or they will be unleashed on the public as judges in our courts, the place where all prosecutors end up, and later on the Court of Appeal bench, Samuels said. The complaint stemmed from the prosecutor's attempt in November 2017 to refresh a witness memory from a statement. When Samuel compared the original with the photocopy, Samuel told the parish judge that they were different. When the judge asked Thomas if the document was the original she had previously served on the defense, she replied, "Yes, it is the original." An adjournment was granted for a comparison of the documents, and on resumption, Samuels pointed out that there were 11 differences between the document, but Thomas explained that they had the same content. On resumption of the matter, under cross-examination by Samuels, the witness Dominic Duval, a bank employee, admitted that he had sent the purported original statement the day before court in November 2017, and on the instructions of Mr. Hines, the head of the bank's internal investigation unit. The witness said that on May 2017, statement submitted to the DPP is the original statement, and that this one was done the day before coming to court. Duval said he was asked by Hines to sign a new statement, which he did, and gave it to Thomas. Following the disclosure, the judge spoke to the lawyers in the chamber and later announced in open court that the Director of Public Prosecutions will be addressing the court and adjourned the matter on December 21, 2017. DPP Paula Llewellyn attended court on the date and announced that the prosecution was offering no further evidence. The judge told Spence he was free to go. Thomas, the respondent, maintained during the hearing that there was no new material in the reconstructed statement could have resulted in an injustice to the complainant Spence. Thomas denied that she led the judge to believe that she found the original statement and denied saying words to the effect that she had found the original. The prosecution explained that by referring to it as a second original, she meant that it came from the very witness who had made the first original statement, and there were no changes save and except the ones that are before the panel, and that is why I call the second original, and at that time I was not aware that those changes had been made. The committee said Thomas said the second original was given to her 2 or 3 minutes before she entered the courtroom, and she did not examine the document as she expected it to be a replica of what was produced earlier. In its decision, the 3-member panel of the committee found that Thomas failed to maintain the honor and dignity of the profession. The panel said she failed to maintain her integrity and counseled others to act industriously in the legal profession. When contacted, attorney-at-law Hugh Wildman, who is representing Thomas, said she has strong grounds of appeal and would be taking the matter to the Court of Appeal. Wildman said one of the grounds would be in relation to the statement by the chairman of the panel before the case ended in which she invited him to make a mitigation plea on behalf of Thomas. He said he had to remind the chair that the case was not over and that they were not at a mitigation stage, for which the chairman apologized. Wildman said the prosecutor has the legal right to use a photocopy statement in court if the original cannot be found, and Thomas should have been permitted to do so. 131 new COVID-19 cases, 1 death. Jamaica has recorded 131 new COVID-19 cases, bringing the overall case count to 146,372. Of the new cases, 87 are females and 43 are males, ranging in age from 1 month to 94 years. The positivity rate is 24%. Meanwhile, the Health Ministry is reporting 1 new COVID-19 death. There are 89 more recoveries. 101 people are now hospitalized, 26 are moderately ill, 7 are severely ill, and 4 are critically ill. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.